This field was a vital meeting place for female footballers throughout the 1970s, 80s and 90s. It led the way for the rest of the country. No other state had a home of women's football like we did in Queensland. Football is now the most popular code for women and girls, and despite making significant progress, football faces critical infrastructure challenges. That's why we're calling on the Queensland Government to support the creation of a new home of women's football.
Yeah, and we'd sort of outgrown here. That was kind of the point. We'd outgrown here.
Hi, my name's Ray Dower and I am the Technical Advisor for Football Australia and the head coach of the Junior Matildas, our under-17 women's national team. And we felt that we needed a home, so the pioneers in the early days set about to get a grant from the Brisbane City Council, and Delaware Park, I think they called it at one stage, but it was Atlanta Field here at Geebung that became the home. Oh, iconic is probably the best word to describe. If we think back to the very first National Youth Championships in Australia was held here at Atlanta Field at Geebung in 1981. And if I go back to one of the proud moments that I reflect on now, is that was my first ever Queensland team. I was 10 turning 11, and the great Sue Monteith, who was a Matilda, had been a Matilda's captain at that stage, was our coach. And so, from those early days, 1981, hosting a National Youth Championships here, the very first of its kind, and we just built from there. We just built, and the numbers of participants, registered participants, started to build as well. And if I think back to how we've grown, our numbers-wise, it's exploded. We've really exploded. Our participation rates, leave us in a very, very healthy space, being the #1 team sport in this country. Well, if we think in the mid-90s, we outgrew Geebung. We needed our registrations were skyrocketing. We needed somewhere bigger. We had ambitions to want to build a much bigger home to accommodate the burgeoning numbers of players, and that's exactly where we're at now. So in order to continue to produce Matildas, we need a home of women's football in Queensland.
A moment to remember forever for Mary Fowler.
The time is now. We really need somewhere that we can call home. Our sport is really bursting at the seams, and it's really time that we had a place of our own, a home for women's football here in Queensland.